Hello, Falcon fans, and welcome to the last regular season BG volleyball match of 2025. Tonight, the 9-8 Falcons are taking on the 6-11 Buffalo Bulls at Alumni Arena here in Buffalo, New York. The Falcons will be fighting for a spot in the MAC tournament hosted in Bowling Green as they are tied with the Akron Zips at 9-8 in conference play. I'm Andrew Smith of the Falcon Media Sports Network, and it's just me here tonight with BG Volleyball. For all BG athletic content, including a recap of this game, be sure to check out bgfalconmedia.com underneath the sports tag and follow BG Falcon Media on Instagram and BG_FMSN on Twitter. In addition, tune into the Zig Zone on Sundays at 4 p.m., where a panel of FMSN analysts will discuss everything related to BG sports. After this volleyball match ends, stick around on Falcon Radio to listen to Tyler Kavelitz and Artie Abrego's call of the 3-0 BG men's basketball game against the also 3-0 Davidson Wildcats. And if hockey is more your cup of tea, you can check out Ben Korak and Nathan Burkett's broadcast of that game at 6 on WBGU 88.1 FM. Now, Bowling Green fighting for a spot, the last spot in the MAC tournament. There's a few different ways that can happen here tonight. The first one is that BG loses and BG wins and Akron loses. That gets them automatically in, and if Akron wins and BG wins, then Miami also needs to win. They're facing off against Eastern Michigan, and the Akron Zips are facing off against Toledo based off of tiebreakers and a few other factors such as winning percentage, strength of schedule. That will be the decider should there be a tiebreaker. Essentially, BG has to win to be in. If they lose, they're basically out of tournament contention, and it'd be a very, very slim chance that they would make the tournament. So essentially, just win and you're into the MAC tournament, which hosted in Bowling Green, Ohio this year after they won the regular season in 2024. So they want to be in the tournament and have that home court advantage in the Stroh, on the Moe and John Stansbury court. But in order to do that, they're going to have to beat these Buffalo Bulls that gave them a little bit of a fight yesterday, took them to 4 sets. The Bulls won that second set by a score of 25-20. Bowling Green, though, would do the same in the third set, 25-20, and then would win the fourth set, 25-19. Yesterday, when the Falcons came in here into Alumni Arena and just really were very strong to start the match offensively, and then in that second set, that offensive power kind of died down a little bit, but would back them up in the third and fourth sets. The defense picked up, the serve receive picked up, and that allowed them to take those third and fourth sets. The outside hitters for Bowling Green played very well yesterday. Both Avery Hobson and Anastasia Bojic had themselves great games, both in double figures with their kill counts. Hobson had 19 kills on 43 total attacks, and Bojic had 13 kills on 42 total attempts. So one of the keys for Buffalo tonight is going to be limiting those outsides. Even when they were out of system yesterday, they were still finding a way to get kills. So going to be a big emphasis of the Bulls to try to shut down the outside, especially Avery Hobson, who really, especially in the first set and the third set, had her way, really, just finding ways to get kills, tips, rolls, deep shots, went down the seam a few times, had a cut here and there, just really any way she possibly could getting those kills. For BG, their keys are going to be blocking early and blocking often. They stepped up in the blocking yesterday, led the match in blocks as a team, 9-7 over the Bulls. But that really ramped up in the third and fourth sets, especially in the fourth set, where Amanda Otten and Kendall Williams combined to deny outside hitter Emerson Matthews of the Bulls 3 times in that final set. So blocking early is going to be a key if they want to win this one early on. Win it in a sweep or 4 sets. Really doesn't matter too much how they win, just that they win. But a sweep would help them a little bit extra in the standings, kind of prove their spot in the MAC tournament a little bit more, considering they are in 7th in the MAC standings currently, and Buffalo is in 8th. For Buffalo, a key for them is going to be, like I mentioned earlier, limiting the Bowling Green outside hitters, but also utilizing their back row attack. They used it quite a lot out of system yesterday. You'd like to see a little bit more of that, both out of system and a little bit in system, mixing it in just to keep BG on their toes. And on that note of keeping the Falcons on their toes and mixing up the attack, I expect Maddie Mitchell, the setter, the lefty setter for the Buffalo Bulls, to really lean into those setter dumps and try to do as she did yesterday and basically swing on those balls. Being a lefty, she's able to just jump and swing when she's in the front row, considering Buffalo's in that 5-1 offense. So her dumps and the back row attack are really going to help throw this Falcons defense off. And for the Falcons, they want to try to stay in system as much as they can. The Bulls team is going to try to throw them off balance, try to force them to make mistakes, try to force them out of system. But if they manage to play good defense, have good serve receive, they're going to do just fine against the Bulls, who are highly ranked in the MAC in digs, but not so highly in blocks. And Bowling Green is first in opponent digs allowed, while the Bulls are 6th in digs with 14.83 a set. So the Bowling Green offense will try to continue what they did yesterday of having a very well-balanced attack, mostly looking to the outsides, but also mixing in Jessica Andrews on the right and the middles, especially Kendall Williams. Helen Wilford didn't get too many looks offensively. Had a couple tip plays here and there, but mostly it was Kendall Williams being the offensive middle for the Falcons. Also had a couple blocks as well. Had a joust at the net that got all of the Falcons loud and hyped. Went up against the middle of Ava Conj on the Bulls side and just threw the ball down against her, fighting right at the top of the net. Big moment for the Falcons. A momentum swing that won them the first set. And we'll see who will win the first set here tonight. Really, you feel as if whoever takes that initial momentum in the first set doesn't necessarily win the match, but it's a key piece considering how momentum-based and how quickly to rally these teams can be. Because Bowling Green won that first set yesterday, and although Buffalo won the second set, it really felt as if they didn't totally look in control, and BG was forcing a lot of rallies during that second set. So the first set, as important as it's ever been, and if the Falcons playing for a tournament spot, every set, every point becomes life or death, keeping your tournament hopes alive. For the Bulls, regardless of what happens, they will not make the tournament, but they're fighting for pride against a squad that has beaten them in their past 13 meetings. In those 13 meetings, Bowling Green has swept the Bulls 10 out of the 13 times, including a sweep last year in 2024. So the Falcons, very recent and all-time dominance against the Bulls, 44-10 overall. On the road, they are 19-6 against the Bulls. So the Falcons, all-time and especially recently, have been very dominant against Buffalo. We'll see if that remains true today or if the Bulls will get an upset win and crush the Falcons' hopes of a MAC tournament appearance. That's going to come up here in just a few moments as we get set to get things underway here in Alumni Arena. Like I mentioned earlier, Bowling Green essentially win and you're in. They lose and they are, in all likelihood, out of the MAC tournament that is again hosted in Bowling Green. If they win, they need to either have Akron and Miami win against their respective opponents in Toledo and Eastern Michigan, or Akron needs to lose against the Rockets. And on that note, we'll be right back here on Falcon Radio with the start of this match. Do not go anywhere.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The Bowling Green women's soccer team wrapped up its 2025 season in the Mid-American Conference Championship Final, falling to Western Michigan at historic Crew Stadium. Under second-year head coach Chris Fox, the Falcons built their identity around grit, defense, and a possession-based style that led to a program record 13-match unbeaten streak. After clinching a tournament spot with a 3-1 win over UMass, BG beat Buffalo and Miami in back-to-back thrillers to reach the title match, including a 106-minute game winner from junior forward Isabella Mazzaferro. Statistically, the Falcons were one of the best defensive teams in the nation, allowing just 0.59 goals per game, the lowest in program history, and top 10 in Division I. With 27 of 29 players returning next fall, the Falcons are already eyeing another run in the 2026 season. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU Student Media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com. In Bowling Green football's 41-17 season opening victory over Fordham on August 29th, junior Justin Pace set a program record with a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown on the first play of the game. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus had the call on Falcon Radio.
Go back up and field it on the goal line. Trying to take to the right, got some blocks, got a hole. Peg was down the far sideline, and he's got space in front of him. 10, 5, touchdown BG brings back the opening kickoff. What a way to start the season.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas.
Congratulations on getting your diploma.
You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
Welcome back here to Alumni Arena. We're just about to get underway here in this matchup between the Bowling Green Falcons and the Buffalo Bulls. Buffalo Bulls starting lineup coming to you now. Starting at setter is Maddie Mitchell for the Bulls. Taya Shaw, Ava Conj are the middle blockers for Buffalo. Emerson Matthews and Manuela Forlin will be the outside hitters, two very powerful outside hitters. Emerson Matthews had 22 kills yesterday. And then rounding out the lineup, we have Reese Collins on the right side and Sadie Gladhill with the libero. Now for the Falcons, the lineup we've grown accustomed to this season: Sydney Hernandez at the libero position, Avery Hobson and Anastasia Bojet are on the outside. Amanda Otten at the setter position. Kendall Williams and Helen Wilford are your middle blockers for the Falcons, and Jessica Andrews rounds out the lineup on the right side. Amanda Otten will serve to get us underway here. She puts it over the net. It's picked up by Forlin. Mitchell tries to go to the middle, but not going to work out. Forlin has to put it over on a free ball. Helen Wilford swings on it. It goes over. Now Forlin's going to get another chance. This time it gets through. Picked up by Bojet. Now Hobson on the attack, rolls it over. Buffalo gets it over in three, but it falls out of bounds on their free ball. And the Falcons take the first point of the match. Buffalo never quite looked set during that point. Falcons took control of that one early. Otten puts over this serve. Mitchell goes to Collins. Collins rips it off of Bojet. She doesn't get good hands on it. Goes off her shoulder and behind her. So the score is tied at 1 point apiece to start the match. Serving now is Gladhill for the Bulls. Hobson picks it up. She's going to get a chance to attack now. Swings it. That's picked up by Matthews. Now Mitchell's going to go to Forlin, who tips it over. Otten's forced to take first ball, so now Hobson will attack. And Hobson will get the kill. Goes on a cut shot and drops it in the line. A nice bump set from Sydney Hernandez there. She'll take that assist. And Avery Anders will check in for Hobson to serve here for BG. She puts this one over. Forlin digs it out. Mitchell goes to the middle, and Shaw looks to get it over the net, but she goes into the tape and down. So 3-1 now, Falcons lead. Avery Anders had herself 2 service aces yesterday in the win. Drops this one in nicely. It's dug out by Matthews. One-handed set by Mitchell. The swing by Collins is blocked, and the Bulls are unable to get a second opportunity, and it falls to the floor. Batted around by Buffalo, but falls down after 3 not-so-great touches, and Anders will serve again. She puts it over, and that's going to be a service ace for Avery Anders. Here to get things started quick for Bowling Green. They're up 5-1. This is how they opened the 4th set yesterday. Doesn't look like Scott Smith, the head coach of Buffalo, will call a timeout just yet as Forlin digs out this serve. Now she's going to attack off of it. Tries to go line. Misses wide. No touch from Bowling Green. Forlin struggles with her line shots. Got a nasty cut cross court, but hasn't been able to land that line all season, and the Falcons seem to try to be exposing that. As Anders puts another one over, it's dug out again. Mitchell now goes back row to Matthews. Matthews puts it into the net, trying to roll it over. And so after a couple of attacking errors, Coach Smith has seen enough. He calls timeout. Bowling Green is up 7-1 early on here in the first set in this do-or-die match for the Falcons. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Falcon Volleyball here on Falcon Radio.
fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network, you can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
And welcome back here into Alumni Arena, where Avery Anders is going to serve in this first set between the Falcons and the Bulls. Falcons are up 7-1 here in the first set, as Collins will take another swing for the Bulls and get herself into the scoring column. Finds the seam between Anders and Hernandez. Hernandez unable to get two hands on it. Goes off her left arm as she dove for it, and so 7-2 the score. Now Kiera Cleedon checks in and will serve for the Bulls. That's picked up by Hernandez. Otten sets Bozic. That's picked up by Matthews. Now a swing by Forlin, looking for a touch, not gonna get it. Buffalo believes there to be a touch. Gonna see a challenge, no. And so that will be a point for the Falcons. Attacking errors and missed opportunities were the story of the night for Buffalo yesterday. Much is the same here early on in this one. We'll see if they can clean it up as Cindy Hernandez tapes her serve and gets a service ace. Went down the line, standing on the left side of her side of the court. Falcons serving right to left over your radio dials, targeting Cleedon. Cleedon didn't field it cleanly. And so 9-2 the score, Falcons lead, looking to get double digits. This time she goes at Gladhill. She picks that up. Mitchell now in the dump. Otten takes first touch. Anders now sets Bozic. Bozic puts it in between the block and the net and gets a kill. A great job by the Falcons, continuing to operate well out of system. Being in system will help them a lot, but so far been able to operate well out of system, as Sydney Hernandez will get herself yet another ace. She had 4 aces in the match yesterday, already has 2 here in this one. She's had 6 matches this season with 3+ service aces. Had 5 in one particular match. As Mitchell trying to set Forlin again. After the serve was picked up, going to miss her mark on that one. Falls to the floor on the Buffalo side, and that'll be another point for Bowling Green. 12-2 now the score, as Shaw is checked out and Jordan Romano is checked in. Gladhill picks up this serve. Now Mitchell sets Forlin. Forlin puts it in between the block and the net, but the Falcons keep it up. They're going to have to give Buffalo a free ball, though. A little bit of confusion there. Mitchell now sets Romano. She goes off the block. Anders takes first touch. Otten now tries to go middle to Kendall Williams, but it's too high, and Williams not able to get to it. Timing was a bit off there. Williams tried to save it with a bump, but it went into the net and to the floor. So 12-3 now. Buffalo takes that point, and Forlin goes to serve. Well, she can do some damage here. She does with that serve. A service ace. Avery Anders tried to get it, but it went over the net to the right and out of bounds. So Forlin gets herself a service ace. She had one of those yesterday as well. See if she can do some damage in this 8-point Falcon lead. Now Bozic forced to take this one. Not exactly clean, but she's going to get a chance to redeem herself in the attack. That's picked up by Gladhill. Now on the set is going to be Mitchell, but Kendall Williams gets in the way of it, thinking it was going to be an overpass, and she's called for a violation of messing with the setter. And so Forlin will serve again. 12-5 the score. This time it's picked up by Anders. Now Otten goes to Andrews on the backside, and she's going to get a kill down the line. Jessica Andrews gets herself involved and will now head to the service line. Andrews, not her best game. last night, but still played well. Had 8 kills on 22 total attacks. Bulls made it a point to limit her as much as they could. As now she will serve. Mitchell will try to dump. That's picked up by Andrews. Now Bojet on the attack will be dug out by Forlin. Mitchell will now bump set to Matthews, who rolls it over. That's picked up by Sydney Hernandez. Otten tries to dump it, and Otten's dump will be successful. Bulls couldn't handle it. 14-5 the score. Falcons taking control of this match early. Looking to force the media timeout here and go up 15-5 on the Jessica Andrews serve. She puts it over. Gladhill digs it out. Overpass, and Kendall Williams swings on it. Bulls trying to save it. They manage to. Cleaton's going to put it over on the free ball, though. So Falcons with an opportunity here. Bojet now rips it off the block and gets the kill. Anastasia Bojet with a nice swing. 13 kills yesterday. Already has herself 2 tonight. 15-5 the score. Andrews serves again. Picked up by the Bulls. Matthews will attack. She looks to put it down on the cross shot, but it goes out of bounds. And Coach Scott Smith will call his second and final timeout of the set, with the Falcons up 16-5 here in the first. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more BG Volleyball right after this here on Falcon Radio.
BG Women's Swim participates in the Magnus Cup Invitational at Busby Natatorium in Cleveland, Ohio on Thursday, November 20th through Saturday, November 22nd. Make sure to check out the recap of the event by Falcon Media Sports Network's Charlotte Beauvais on bgfalconmedia.com.
Check out more Falcon athletic coverage online at bgfalconmedia.com.
And welcome back to Alumni Arena. The Falcons are up here in this first set against the Buffalo Bulls 16-5. After beating the Bulls in 4 sets yesterday, the Falcons are looking to keep their MAC tournament hopes alive with a win here today. In order to make it, they need to win. A win and in situation. They also need to hope for either an Akron loss to Toledo or an Akron win and a Miami win against the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Jessica Andrews will serve again for the Falcons. An overpass again by the Bulls, and this time Mitchell wins it. And Mitchell with a little something to say to Kendall Williams after Williams had a little bit of the same situation yesterday, screaming in the face of Ava Kanj after getting a big-time win on another joust. This time Mitchell won that one, though, and the Bulls will take that point. Sydney Hernandez takes this serve receive. Bojet on the attack, looking for a touch. Falcons think they have it. The call is different on the court, though. Going to be out, no touch, and so 16-7 is the score. Serving again is Eve Adams, and that will be an ace for Eve Adams. Dropped it in nicely, and the Bulls trying to go on a run here. Now down by 8, 16-8. Adams to serve again. Didn't have a service ace yesterday. Gets one here tonight. No service errors either yesterday. And now Kendall Williams on the attack, going to try to go on the line, but she's called out. Goes across her body to the left side of the court. Just misses the white tape. And so 16-9 now. Buffalo building momentum. Can they make some sort of a comeback? Oh, and this one's going to go onto the tape and just barely not fall over, and instead falls onto the Buffalo side of the court. The run by Adams cut short with a service error. So an ace and an error for Adams, as Bojet now will serve for BG. Tosses it up, puts it over. Dug out by Forlin nicely. Mitchell now to Matthews, who rolls it. Hobson digs it out. Now Otten goes back to Hobson on the attack. She rips it. That's picked up, though, by Gladhill. Now Matthews to Forlin. Forlin puts it over on 2 hands, and Amanda Otten denies it, puts it right back down. Read that one like a book. Forlin tried to put it over with two hands, and Amanda Otten put up two hands of her own, and this time put it right back down. As Bojet serves again, that's dug out by Forlin. Now Mitchell cross court to Matthews, and Matthews with a tip will make it work. Ball was close to the net. Doesn't matter. Matthews with the kill, puts it between the BG block and the net and to the floor. Maddie Mitchell to serve now. The 5'10 freshman setter has been a absolute unit for the Bulls. Hobson goes on the attack after an amazing set from Amanda Otten. She rips it through, puts it right between the two Buffalo blockers and down. A clean kill for Hobson, 19-10. Falcons looking to reach 20 points. Kendall Williams to serve. The freshman middle puts it over. Matthews digs it out. Now Mitchell to Conj in the center. No BG blocker touched it, and Bojet let it go out of bounds over the back line, so the Falcons do reach 20. 20-10. Falcons 5 points to win this first set and go up 1-0 in the match and put themselves ever so closer to locking down a tournament spot. Matthews digs out this serve. Mitchell turns back to Matthews. She tries to get a kill. It's going to go out of bounds, but Bowling Green touched it. Matthews got the fingertips. Matthews is a hitter that can really go anywhere with her swing. She's very talented. She's also talented from the service line. She puts this float serve over, looking to get an ace, almost gets it, but Laube saves it. Now Hobson's going to try to attack on the rollover. Mitchell forced to take first touch. Gladhill bump set to Forlin, who's blocked by Amanda Otten. Bowling Green 21-11. Otten serving. Laube checks out. A great job by her keeping that point alive after the nice serve by Matthews, and Andrews will take her place. Otten puts this one over. Little bit of an overpass. Going to be a point for Buffalo as Wilford jumped and reached over the net a little too far as Mitchell was trying to set. And it's going to be a point for the Bulls. So 12-21 as Gladhill serves. Hobson digs it out. Otten goes back set to Andrews, who tries to go line, not going to get it, out of bounds to the right. And the score is now 21-13. Falcons leading. As now this one is dug out by Hobson. She's going to get to attack now, rolls it over. That's dug out nicely by Matthews. Mitchell now goes to Forlin, tries to go cross court, looking for a touch. Does not get it, hit it flat. No fingertips on that one to get any sort of spin, and so the ball sails out of bounds. Line judge, easy call. And 22-13 the score with Avery Anders serving. Hernandez, and Otten are in the back row. Andrews, Wilford, and Bojet in the front row. As Forlin tips this one over, Falcons with an opportunity now. Sydney Hernandez bump set to Bojet, who's blocked at the net by Reese Collins, the sophomore on the right side from Lexington, Kentucky, as she will check out now for Cleedon, who will go to the service line, looking to get herself another service ace after her last time at the service line earlier in the set. She puts this one over. Bojet overpass now. Falcons managed to keep it up, but unable to get it over in three inside the court. And so 22-15 now, Falcons leading by 7. Buffalo cutting into this lead. Can the Falcons maintain it? Only need 3 points to do so. Bojet digs this one out cleanly this time. Now Andrews on the attack, looking to get the line, and she does. She's gone with 3 straight line shots, maybe trying to set up Buffalo to come too close to the antenna to then go cross. She loves to rip that seam. We'll see if that happens later on in the match. Sydney Hernandez to serve. Sails it long. Service error for Hernandez after getting 2 service aces. in her last run while serving. 23-16 the score. Forlin is serving. Got a service ace of her own last time, but this time she sails it long by about a foot. So a good call by Hernandez and Anders in the back row. And Jessica Andrews will now serve for the Falcons, the senior middle blocker with a service ace yesterday. Looking to get another here. Drops this one in. Cleedon digs it out. Not exactly cleanly, so Matthews will be off the net as she puts it over with two hands. Bojet now goes to Otten. Otten to Williams. Williams is blocked. Nobody there to save it. And so that'll be a point for the Bulls. Falcons at set point. 24-17. Bulls trying to make some sort of a comeback, but it looks unlikely as Bowling Green will have set point for the next 7 points. As Bojet receives this one, Otten takes it. Bojet then tips into the block, and it falls in. And Bowling Green takes the first set and now leads the match 1-0. Looking to build on this momentum as they head into the second set. The Bulls will look to rebound, regroup, and get back to it in the second set. And we'll see if they can win it as they did yesterday after going down 1-0. We'll be back with the second set of action right here on Falcon Radio. Don't go anywhere.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hey Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
On September 5th, 2025, BGSU men's soccer forward Trace Terry found the back of the net with a spectacular goal within the first 5 minutes of the match to defeat Michigan State 1-0, marking the second straight season the Falcons defeated the Spartans. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer had the call of the goal on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel livestream.
Suarez will look along for Terry. He's going to find Terry. He's going to take it on the bounce. A left-footed shot is in! Oh, what a strike from Trace Terry! 1-0 Bowling Green!
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Ben Korak, Andrew Smith, and the Falcon Media Sports Network crew covering the Falcon volleyball team.
And welcome back here into Alumni Arena, where the Bowling Green Falcons have just taken a 1-0 lead over the Buffalo Bulls. The Falcons hunting for a MAC tournament spot. The last MAC tournament spot in the tournament that will happen in Bowling Green. So the hosts looking to find their way into the tournament. A win here tonight will certainly make their case a strong one. If they win and Akron loses in their match against Toledo, the Falcons are in. If Bowling Green wins, Akron wins, and Miami wins, Bowling Green will be in. Currently, the Zips are down to Toledo in their first set, 22-17. And Eastern Michigan is up over Miami in their match. And they just won the first set. Eastern just won the first set against Miami, 25-19. So Red Hawks are down 1-0. Akron is down 22-17 in the first set, and BG is up here 1-0. If the Zips lose and the Falcons win, they are in. Gladhill now serving for the Bulls to get things started here in the second. Bojet digs her out. Now Hobson will go on the attack. Goes out of bounds. Just misses the line by about a foot and maybe a little extra change. As Gladhill returns to the service line, her team now up 1-0. She puts another one over. Hobson digs it out, overpass. Otten still manages to set it, and Wilford on the attack, making it work and getting the kill. 1-1 the score. Hobson will check out for Anders, and Avery Anders will go to the service line. Gives the ball a spin and puts it over. And a service ace for Avery Anders. Dropped that one in, and Matthews unable to handle it. Bowling Green now up 2-1. That's Anders' second service ace in this one. She puts another one over. Forlan digs it out. Now Mitchell to the middle and Romano. That's dug out by Hernandez. Now Bojet on the attack, looking for a touch, going to get it off the block. And so Falcons now up 3-1. Anders returning to the service line once again. Trying to put BG firmly in the lead here in the second set, just as they did in the first when they went up 5-1 to start things off. As Mitchell now will set Forlan. Forlan rolls it over. Otten touches it on the first ball. Probably should not have. Should have left it for her back row. Bowling Green first-year head coach Alex Del Piombo informs her of that. And the Falcons move on. 3-2 the score. Bulls will have a job fighting back in this one, as Cleedon will now serve. Bojet digs it out. Otten now goes to Andrews, who goes back to that seam shot and drops it in over the Buffalo block. A great rip from Jessica Andrews, as Hernandez now will serve for BG. She tosses this one up, puts it over. Gladhill digs it out. Now Mitchell takes the second ball, but it's going to be a bumped free ball for the Falcons. Now Otten goes to Bojet. She goes off the block. Bulls try to keep it alive, unable to. That's going to be a double touch on Romano. And the Falcons now are up 5-2. Hernandez with 2 service aces and a service error in the first set. Looking for another service ace. Puts this one over. Sails it long. That'll be her second service error to go along with the 2 service aces. A good call by Gladhill to let that ball go. Now serving Manuela Forlan. She had 14 kills yesterday, as well as a service ace in the loss to the Falcons. Puts this one over nicely. Jessica Andrews puts it over on the tip from the set from Otten. Now Matthews will attack after Mitchell's set. They recycle it off the block. Mitchell now goes back row to Forlan. She looks for a touch or to drop it in. Doesn't get either. Sailed it long. 6-3 the score. Andrews serving. Bulls prepare to receive. Andrews puts this one over, and it drops right in. Cleedon left it thinking it was going to go long, but it lands on the back line. A nice serve from Jessica Andrews and a no-touch ace. Her first of the match to go along with her 3 kills. This one, though, is picked up nicely by Cleedon. Romano goes on the slide attack, and she's shut down by Bojet and Williams. The freshman duo shutting down the right side. Andrews will return to the service line with the Falcons up 8-3 here in Alumni Arena in the second set, up 1-0 in the match. Cleedon digs this one out. Matthew goes on the attack, rolls it over. Bojet digs it out. Now Otten returns it to Bojet. She'll go on the attack and get the kill. A lighter swing, but put it off the block and over the head of Cleedon. And it fell in. Andrews now serving again. Cleedon's pushed back, and Matthews is put in to the back row. Andrews tries to rip it again, looking to get the back line again, but misses it by about a half a foot. A great call by the Bulls to let it go again. They're staying alive kind of off these service errors right now by the Falcons. Going to need to find a way to string their own points together. As Eve Adams, who got the Bulls on a little bit of a run in the first set, will go to the service line and look to get herself another service ace. Nearly does it, but Bojet digs it out cleanly enough. She'll now attack, go off the block. Bulls keep it up. Mitchell now goes to Matthews. She rips it off the BG block. Anders goes up with one hand to keep it alive for the Falcons. Now a bump set back to Bojet, looking for a touch. Doesn't get it, missed the hands. Sailed it long, and 9-5 now. Falcons up 4, but Bulls trying to make a run. Serving again is Adams. Tapes the net, but stays in. Now Otten tries to dump it. Unsuccessful, kept up by Bulls, but it goes back over the net. Otten gets a second opportunity to swing at it, takes it, and puts it down. So Amanda Otten, with a second opportunity, will get her kill, and the Falcons go up 10-5. Now serving Bojet. Puts it over, drops it in, dug out by Forlin. Now on the set, goes a little over the net, joust at the net. Bulls get it back. Mitchell now swings on it. Otten tries to set it anyway after a little bit of an overpass by Lowy. Bulls keep it up after the Williams attack. Now a swing from the back row by Forlin, and Forlin gets the kill from the back row. Said in the pregame, the Bulls got to get the back rows involved as much as they can between Forlin and Matthews, who can both hit those. And they do early on here. Scott Smith big on running that back row attack. Saw it in the MAC tournament last year. As Mitchell puts this serve over, it's dug out by the Falcons. Hobson goes in the attack, rolls it over. Bulls keep it up. Now Matthews sets it over, and it drops in on that back line. No Falcon was there. A great job by Matthews looking for that back corner with the double-handed attack. 10-7 the score. Falcons keeping a 3-point lead, but the Bulls going on a run. This one's picked up by the Falcons. Hobson goes in the attack, swings it down, and puts it on the corner. A nice shot by Avery Hobson, and the Falcons are up 11-7. Now serving is Kendall Williams for the orange and brown. She did not have a service ace yesterday, but she is a good server for this Falcons team as Matthews picks up her serve. Mitchell sets it back to Matthews. Matthews swings through and gets a kill, ripping it off the BG block and unable to be handled by the BG back row. So the Falcons now up 11-8, still maintaining a 3-point lead, but had a 5-point lead at one point. That's been cut down by the Bulls. Sydney Hernandez forced to do a bump set to Hobson. She tips it over. Bulls keep it up. Now Forlin on the attack, looking to get the point, but she goes wide, trying to go on a nice cut shot that just goes a little too much out of her control and falls out of bounds. So Falcons take that point. They lead 12-8. Amanda Otten is back to serve. Falcons up 1-0 in the match. 12-8 in this second set as Mitchell sets her middle and Conch. That's kept up by Otten. Hernandez bump set to Hobson. Hobson goes line, and Hobson gets the kill. This is what we saw from Avery Hobson yesterday, really just getting it done in any way she can. Going line, going cut, going cross, down the seam, tips, rolls, whatever she can get to work, making it work, especially out of system as Otten now puts a nice serve over, but an even better dig by Matthews. On the attack now is Conj, looking to get the fingertips, doesn't get them, and that ball sails out of bounds. And the Falcons are now up 14-8 as the attacking errors continue to pile up for the Bulls. They have 13 of them so far as they now give a free ball after the Otten serve. Otten now to Wilford. Wilford's tip is dug out by Mitchell. Gladhill bump set to Forlin. That's dug out by Bojet. Now Hobson gets the opportunity to attack. Set too long, rolls it over. Now Mitchell goes back to Collins. Collins dug out by Otten. Hernandez bumps that to Hobson. Hobson rolls it over. Forlin digs that out. Now she'll attack, tips it over. Hernandez keeps it up. Falcons keep it alive, get it over in 3. Going to be a free ball, though, for the Bulls. They go to the middle, and Conj gets it down. A good job by the Bulls there. Down in this set, but winning that important rally to get a little momentum on their side. Falcons now up 14-9 as Gladhill will now serve. She puts it over. Bojet digs it out. Now Otten goes back to Jessica Andrews, and Jessica Andrews with another rip and another kill. Media timeout is called. Falcons up 15-9. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with some more Falcon volleyball right after this here on Falcon Radio.
Unlike other local sources, Falcon Media Sports Network and BG Falcon Media will never charge a paywall to view our content. However, if you are looking to support student media, you can donate at the bottom of our stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
And welcome back here into Alumni Arena, where the Falcons are up 1-0 in the match against the Buffalo Bulls. They're up 15-9 here in this set. Looking to take a 2-set lead as the Bulls look to tie things up at 1 set apiece, as they did yesterday, and the Falcons' 4-set win. Back to serve for BG is Avery Anders. The Falcons looking to get a MAC tournament spot, and a win here would certainly help, as Forlin digs out this serve from Anders, swings on it now, kept up by BG, trying to get it over 3. They do, but a double from Bojet is called. And now the score is 15-10 as Bojet gets called. Ball spinning a little bit off the hands. That's what caused it to be called as a double. Cleedon now serving. Hernandez digs it out. Otten now sets Bojet. Bojet with the swing goes off the block. Matthews digs it out. Mitchell now goes to Romano. Romano tips it over. Anders digs it out, puts it over. Now Mitchell goes on the attack. Hernandez with a one-handed dig keeps it alive. Now Bojet on the attack, drops in. Forlin keeps it up. Mitchell now goes back to Romano. That's kept up by Anders. Otten now to Andrews. Andrews looking to put it in. Goes long. No touch. What a dig by Sydney Hernandez to keep that point alive for as long as it was. The Bulls still down 4, but take that rally. 15-11. Cleedon serves again. Hernandez digs it out. Otten goes middle to Wilford, who's blocked. Falcons try to keep it alive, but can't. Romano, who came in for Shaw, is living it up in the middle position. As Cleedon puts another one over. Otten now goes to Andrews. Andrews with the swing. Bulls can't keep it up. 16-12 the score now. Sydney Hernandez will serve. She bounces it once, puts it over. Dug out by Gladhill. Now Mitchell goes to Romano. Romano swings, and it's kept up by Otten. Now Bojet tries to put an attack down, but it goes a little bit long, no touch. Going for that back corner again, just missed it by about a half a foot. Good call by the Bulls back row to leave it. Forlin now attacking. Bojet digs her out. Otten now goes to Andrews. Andrews tries to tip it over, but it goes into the net. 16-14 now. Bulls are getting back in this one. Looking to make a statement and come back in this set and win it. Forlan puts another one over. Bojet digs it out. Otten now goes back to Bojet on the attack. Looking to get a kill here. Kept up as long as they could by the Bulls. Matthews got a hand on it for a second touch after Gladhill didn't exactly dig it out cleanly, but it goes on the wrong side of the scorer's table. And BG will take that point. They still lead by 3. We'll see if the Bulls can cut into the lead anymore. Jessica Andrews puts this one over. Gladhill digs it out. Overpass. Otten puts it down. Over the head of Mitchell. And timeout is called by Scott Smith on the Buffalo sideline. Falcons up 18-14 here in this second set. Up 1-0 in the match. Looking to fight for a MAC tournament spot when we come back here on Falcon Radio.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Check out more Falcon athletic coverage online at bgfalconmedia.com.
And welcome back here into Alumni Arena, where the Falcons are up in this second set 18-14 over the Buffalo Bulls and are up in the match 1-0, fighting for a MAC tournament spot. Jessica Andrews will put this one over. It's dug out by Cleedon. Now set by Mitchell. Matthews swings on it. Andrews digs it out. Otten now goes to Bojet. She tips it over. Cleedon keeps it up. Now Mitchell bumps set to Matthews. She swings on it and drops it in on the back line. A swing by Matthews, the freshman, outside, making a name for herself once again. Made a name for herself all season. 352 kills so far on 978 total attacks. Anders digs out this serve from Cleveland. Otten now goes cross court to Bojet. Bojet with a rip, and that one's unable to be saved. Anastasia Bojet, probably the most powerful hit we've seen out of her yet. The freshman going to be a force on the outside for the Falcons for years to come. 19-15 the score here in Alumni Arena. Falcons looking to take this second set. Bulls looking to come back and steal it from them. Bojet drops this one in, and she gets the service ace. Cleedon dove for it, but couldn't get both hands on it. Just a little too late. Sometimes your feet can just turn to stone, and you're unable to move in that back row when the opponent's serving. It's short again, but Cleedon digs it out this time. Little bit of an overpass, but Mitchell makes it work. Matthews goes over. Now Otten tries to make her dump happen. Matthews was ready for it. She blocked it, and it fell to the floor. 20-16. Falcons have reached that 20-point marker. They need 5 points to win. The Bulls are down 4. And you can't doubt the fight of these Buffalo Bulls. Mitchell, though, puts this one into the net. She had a service ace, but 3 service errors in the match yesterday. She gets a service error here. As now Kendall Williams will serve for BG. Puts it over. Matthews digs it out nicely. Mitchell now goes to the middle, and Conj, that's blocked by the Falcons. Kept alive, though, by the Bulls. Matthews will now have an opportunity. The Falcons can't keep that one up. Went through the hands of Hobson off the block. She wasn't expecting it to get high so quickly. Bojet still tried to dive for it after the touch from Hobson, but it fell to the floor. And now Matthews will break out that top spin serve. It goes off the tape and in, killed the power on it. Now Hobson will attack, goes into the block. She'll have another opportunity here, and this time she makes it work. Puts it off the top of the block, and Matthews and Gladhill unable to save it as it landed between them. 22-17 Falcons, 3 points to win this second set and go up 2-0 in the match and put themselves closer to a MAC tournament appearance. Otten puts this ball long by a couple of feet. The last regular season match for both of these squads, possibly the Falcons' last match of the season, most definitely the Bulls' last match. As this is an overpass by Hobson after the Gladhill serve. The swing on the overpass is picked up by the Falcons. Hobson going to get another opportunity, and this time she makes it work and tools the block of Collins. 23-18 the score. Timeout called by Scott Smith yet again. BG up 23-18. Here in the second set, they're up 1-0 in this match, looking to go up 2-0 and get this win over the Bulls to put them in a position to be in the MAC tournament. Currently, they're in 7th place on the outside. Looking in, Akron has the same record as them at 9-8 in the conference, but with the sweep they had over the Falcons in the split series between the two teams last week, the Zips have the tiebreaker. So the score in the Zips game right now, though, is Toledo up 1-0 in the match. They're up 18-11, however, in the second set. So up by 7 in the second set. A real opportunity there for them to go up 2-0, just as the Falcons have. And Miami is up over Eastern Michigan. The reason that game matters is if the Falcons win and Akron wins, the Falcons still have an opportunity to make it if Miami wins over Eastern Michigan, which is why it's so important for the Falcons to win in essentially a win and in situation for them. Miami lost the first set to Eastern. They're up 18-15 in the second set. So they're down 1-0 in the match, so less likely that they'll win that one as of right now. Toledo still up 18-11 over the Zips, and the Falcons are now serving it on the hands of Avery Anders. She puts this one into the net. So 2 service errors in a row on the Falcons side of the court. They're still up 23-19 though in this second set, still in the driver's seat, but they need to get these last 2 points to win it. The Bulls definitely not going to make it easy. Cleedon to serve for Buffalo. She puts it over. Hernandez digs it out. Otten now to Bojet. Bojet's dug out. Wilford takes it, the first touch on the overpass. Otten sets Bojet again, and Bojet puts it down in the center of the court, finding the donut. UB unable to dig it, and 24-19 now, Falcons at set point once again. And now Sydney Hernandez will put this one over. Mitchell, a set to Forlin. Forlin drops it into the center, and that's a point for Buffalo, and they reach 20 for the first time today. 24-20 now. Forlin looking to go on a run and put Buffalo back in this set and back in this match. Puts it over. Bojet digs it out. Now Otten goes cross-court back to Bojet. She puts it in between the blockers and the net, and it falls in. So the Falcons take the second set and go up 2-0 in the match. They have increased their chances of not only a sweep here today, but also of taking a spot in the MAC tournament hosted in Bowling Green. We're going to take a short break as the two teams prepare for the third set of action here in Alumni Arena. We'll be right back with more BG Volleyball here on Falcon Radio right after this.
Falcon women's basketball continues the beginning of their season with a road matchup against Marquette on Friday, November 14th. Tune in to Falcon Media Sports Network's Adam Duffin on the call for tip-off at 7:30 p.m. Lucas Kleinmeyer, Sam Bork, and Trey Kennedy will have the in-studio pregame, halftime, and postgame show all beginning at 7:05 p.m. On Falcon Radio, streaming on bgfalconmedia.com.
Mom was always very organized, but my sister and I noticed she started to forget things.
Telling my girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard.
But Mom's early detection gave us time to make a plan.
My sister and I were there for Mom and each other.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Are you a fan of BG Falcon Media and the Falcon Media Sports Network? You can show your support for BGSU student media by donating at the bottom of the page of stories on bgfalconmedia.com.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Ever heard of Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts on Falcon Radio or WBGU 88.1 FM but don't know where to listen? Well, set down the radio, pick up your phone, and go to bgfalconmedia.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to stream Falcon Radio and WBGU 88.1 FM for all broadcasts.
Imagine home. The smell of coffee, the sound of a lawnmower, the sun's warmth on your face. Free to be yourself, surrounded by love that helps you grow. This is a place to call home. That's an American dream we all deserve. But in 50% of U.S. states, you could legally be denied housing if you are LGBTQ+. Get the facts and hear real stories at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Ben Korak, Andrew Smith, and the Falcon Media Sports Network crew covering the Falcon volleyball team.
And welcome back to Alumni Arena, where the Falcons are up 2-0 over the Buffalo Bulls and are looking to sweep here and take a road victory, sweep the Bulls in the series 2-0, and possibly secure themselves a spot in the MAC tournament, essentially a win and in situation. Need to get the win here regardless, but Toledo is up over Akron 23-13 in the second set after winning the first set 25-19. So it looks like they're going to win that, 23-16 now. Score just updated. But it looks as if they will win that second set and go up 2-0 in their own match. And Miami just took the second set against Eastern Michigan. The reason that game matters is because if Miami wins, Akron wins, and Bowling Green wins, Bowling Green is still in the MAC tournament in that final spot. Currently, Miami is tied up with Eastern 1-1. After 2 sets, they'll head to a third and then a fourth. We'll see what happens there. Score of the Akron-Toledo game just got updated. Again, it's actually 25-15. Don't really know what's going on there with their live stats, but regardless, Toledo is up big in the second set and up big in the match as of right now. The Falcons up big here. They got a 2-0 set lead. They won the last set 25-20, won the first set as well. They'll look to take the third and sweep the Bulls to put themselves in a position to take a MAC tournament spot back in Bowling Green, where they will be hosting the MAC tournament. So it'd be nice if they were actually participating in it. Otten, however, sends her first serve of this third set long. Dropped it over that white line, and the back on the Buffalo side of the court. Falcons again serving right to left over your radio dials. Gladhill will now respond with a serve of her own, and it's going to be a service ace for Gladhill. Buffalo going up 2-0 to kick things off here in the third. Falcons will have to refocus, and the Bulls will try to keep this momentum going. Maybe it can be a little bit of a spark so they can take this third set and think about some sort of a comeback. Gladhill puts this one over. Hobson digs it out. Bojet now goes back to Hobson. She swings on it. That's dug out by Forlin. Now Mitchell to Collins. Collins is blocked by Hobson, and Wilford at the net. Shut down. And the Falcons get the first point of the set that way. Avery Anders now back to serve. She checks in for Avery Hobson, who so far on the match has herself 6 kills, and then a block there. That's her first block of the match. As Avery Anders digs out a nice attack from Forlin. Now on the attack is Bojet. Now a joust at the net between Wilford and Forlin. Goes the Falcons' way. Now Bojet on the attack again, rolls it over and drops it in. And the Falcons tie things up 2 points apiece after a little bit of a rally there. Avery Anders to serve again. Tosses it up, puts it over, drops it in nicely. Gladhill bump set now to Collins, who's forced to bump it over, so free ball for BG. Otten goes to Andrews. Andrews with a rip and a kill. 3-2 now. Falcons have taken the lead here in the third set. Anders serving again. She's got 2 aces so far today and a service error. Puts this one over, dug out by Forlin. Now Mitchell will go to Romano in the middle. Now Bojet on the attack for BG. Looked like that one went off the block and dropped in from my angle. Bojet thought it was out. Del Piama's going to trust the call of the referees. I'm inclined to agree with the officials. That ball did drop in off the block, so 3-3 the score. Buffalo ties it up. Clyden will serve. Bojet now goes on the attack. Looking to put that one in. Goes a little bit far too wide. So 4-3 now. Falcons losing. Bulls up. They're not going to make anything easy on the Falcons. As now Bojet digs out this serve. Swung on by Wilford. Wilford will get the overpass. Swings in, and again, that's blocked. Andrews now bump set Bojet as the Falcons keep recycling. Andrews keeps that one alive off the block. Now, with the swing is Romano. Romano tears it off the Bojet block off her left hand, utilizing the slide to perfection. And the Bulls are now up 5-3. Taking their biggest lead of the match. Bojet digs out this serve. Otten now goes to Andrews again, and Andrews going to get a kill off the touch. And out of bounds, so Falcons take a point back. 5-4. Jessica Andrews is nothing if not reliable. A consistent player for this Falcons squad. Cindy Hernandez puts this one over. Gladhill digs it out. Now Mitchell goes on the dump and puts it right down. The left hand serving her well there. Dropped it right, basically onto that 10-foot line, maybe at the 11-foot mark. No Falcon had a chance of getting there in time. 6-4 the score. Bulls lead. Forlin puts it over. Bojet digs it out. Otten goes back to Bojet. Bojet swings, goes off the block. Anders keeps it up. Falcons barely keeping it alive. Going to be forced to give Buffalo a free ball. Now an overpass a little bit by Gladhill. Mitchell can't do anything with it. Falcons now on the attack. Bojet goes long on the tip. A smart play by the freshman. Really a veteran move. Tipping it over the blockers and past the defenders. And onto that back line. 6-5 the score. Bulls still lead. Trying to cling on to this set so that they can force a fourth. Keep this match going. Andrews puts this one over. Gladhill digs it out. Now Mitchell goes to Romano, who rolls it over. Otten digs it out. Now Bojet will set cross court back to Otten, who swings on it. That's blocked by the Bulls. Otten now tries to dump after It goes off the block, dug out by Williams. This time, her dump is successful. Puts it off the block, and it falls to the floor on the Buffalo side. 6-6. Falcons have tied things up. Andrews still serving. She puts this one over. A rip and a service ace for Jessica Andrews. That one might have gone long and out of bounds, but it was a rip. Gladhill nervous to just let it go. And so she touched it, and that'll be a point BG. They lead now 6-7. Andrews puts this one over, and another service ace for Jessica Andrews. 2 in a row. She didn't have any in the match till this point. Now gets 2 in a row to put the Falcons in the lead by 2, 8-6. She puts another one over. This time it's dug out by Clyden. Now put over by the middle Romano. Overpass by the Falcons that's swung on but blocked by Otten, so kept up. Otten now sets to Bojet. Bojet's attack is kept up by Forlan. Now Matthews will attack for the Bulls, and Matthews puts that one in. Coach Del Piombo says on the sideline she's really shifty. That is true. Matthews, despite just being a freshman, despite standing at 5'11", is a very clean hitter, a very talented hitter, and she gets up and swings with some power. Proves it there. 8-7 the score for the Falcons. Bump set by Bojet. The Falcons are going to give a free ball off of the Lauby bump. So Matthews now will attack. Tips it over. She now attacks off the overpass. That's kept up by Anders. Now Bojet on the attack, and Bojet with the kill. The Falcons with some beautiful out-of-system play to remain in the lead and not let the Bulls tie things up. 9-7 the score. Avery Anders with an unbelievable dig after Emerson Matthews swung on that overpass. Somehow got there and kept it alive, and the Falcons got a kill off it. As now Bojet will drop this one in. Somehow the Bulls keep it up, but the Falcons are going to go attack on the free ball, and Kendall Williams this time with the kill. A nice one ball from Otten to Williams. And the freshman is going to get involved in the scoring for the first time tonight. Her first kill as the Falcons take a 3-point lead, 10-7. Bojet now to serve, drops this one in. That's dug out by Forlan, now bumped up by Mitchell, swung on by Matthews. Lauby keeps it in the air. Now Otten goes to Hobson, who's checked in, and she puts it down and on the floor. Lands it on the back line. Finds the seam in the hole in the block. She's got 7 kills. Bojet lead in all scores with 13 kills, tying her kill number from last night. As now on the attack is Shaw, up the middle after the Bulls received that serve from Bojet. Shaw missed her attack though, went too far to her right. And the Falcons are up 12-7. Bojet will serve again. Drops another one in. That's dug out by Matthews. Mitchell now goes back row to Forlan, and Forlan is blocked by Hobson. What a block by Avery Hobson. She's been struggling with blocking in past series and matches. Not there. And the Falcons force a timeout from head coach Smith and lead this third set 11-7 and lead the match 2-0. We're going to take a quick break here. Don't go anywhere though, because we'll be back with the conclusion of this third set here on Falcon Radio right after this.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
check out more coverage from the Falcon Media Sports Network on X at BG_FMSN.
And welcome back to Alumni Arena, where the Falcons are up 13-7. Before the break, I said they were up 11-7. I was looking at the live stats on my computer and not up at the scoreboard above me. So the Falcons have a 6-point lead. They're looking to close this thing out in 3 sets and look to secure a spot in the MAC tournament. Bojet puts one over. Clyden digs it out. Now Matthews will go on the attack, goes off the BG block. Hernandez digs it out. Otten has to rush over to bump set it. Hobson's still going to swing on it. Gladhill jigs this one out. Now a swing on by Mitchell at the setter position. Bojet dug that one out. Now Hobson goes back on the attack. That one's dug up by Gladhill. Now Matthews rolls this one over, kept up by BG. Hobson forced to just roll this one over very lightly. Shaw keeps it up. Bulls are scrambling, but managed to get an attack over, but it's going to miss. Matthews' attack is too far to the right, and the Falcons take that point. A good job winning that, as both teams were incredibly out of system. Came out with the rally win there. 14-7 now. Bojet will serve, puts this one over. Matthews digs it out. Bump set by Mitchell, back to Matthews, and Matthews with a rip. Sidney Hernandez, no chance of digging that one out. A great cut shot. Now serving is Maddie Mitchell. Puts one over. Hobson digs it out. Otten now sets it back to Hobson. She goes on the attack. Gladhill digs it out. Mitchell now bump set to Matthews. Matthews goes long. Going to be a touch, though, on Kendall Williams. And so BG leads 14-9. Buffalo trying to mount a comeback here. Getting a couple points, putting themselves in a position to do it would definitely help if they reach double digits here. Hernandez digs out this serve. Now it goes back to Hobson. Hobson's going to try to go line. Just misses on the outside, a little bit too much outside her body when she swung on that one. And so the score will be 14-10. Buffalo will reach double digits. Mitchell will serve. She has one service error today. No aces so far. Tries to get one here, but just goes a little bit long over that back line by about maybe a foot, not even. 15-10 the score. Falcons up. Hernandez checks out. Wilford checks in. Williams goes to the service line. Kendall Williams, no service aces or service errors today. Same as yesterday. She puts this one over. Gladhill digs her out. Mitchell now goes to Matthews. She puts it over with 2 hands, and it works for her. Tipping it off the block and falling. Hobson with it so close to the net, couldn't field it cleanly. 15-11 now, the score. Matthews going with a top spin. Hobson digs it out. It's an overpass, though. Collins tried to get it over, couldn't. Now Bulls are going to be forced to give the Falcons a free ball. Otten now goes to Hobson on the swing. Rips it. They get it right back, though. So free ball for the Falcons. Hobson rips it again and puts it down. Only one blocker, and that's going to be a kill for Avery Hobson every time she sees it. A great kill for the junior outside hitter that transferred from Duquesne, but putting in great work for the Falcons. As now on the attack is Shaw. And Shaw attacks. Otten dug it out. Jessica Andrews keeps it up. Tried to go over the net really high into the air. It hits the camera underneath the Jumbotron and falls back down onto the Falcons side. Point for Buffalo, so 16-12 now the score. Gladhill will serve. Had 3 service aces yesterday. Hobson now will attack for BG, tips it over. Mitchell now bump set to Forlin. She rolls it. Bowling Green out of system. Both teams scrambling here. Otten tries to reset them by just putting it over. Free ball for the Bulls. Forlin swings and is stuffed by Jessica Andrews and Helen Wilford. That ball went straight back down. 17-12. The Falcons lead it here in the third set. They're up 2-0 on the match. Avery Anders to serve. Puts it over. Matthews digs it out nicely. Mitchell set to Forlan. Forlan tips it and gets herself a kill. A nice play by Forlan. The smart one there. Didn't really have an opportunity to get a nice swing on that ball, so instead she tips it. The Falcons could not get a good block on it. And so that'll be a point for Toledo, 17-13. Clyden serving. She puts it over. Bojet digs it out. Otten goes back to Bojet. She's forced to tip it, which how close to the net it is. Buffalo digs it out. Now Matthews on the back row attack. Otten digs it out. Anders now bump set back to Bojet. Bojet with the swing. That's picked up by Gladhill. Now on the attack is Forlan. She tips it over. Falcons keep it up. Bojet just puts it over on the second touch. Now Mitchell back to Forlan. Bowles trying to keep it alive off the block now. Recycled it well. Falcons giving them a free ball on the first touch. Now Matthews is going to swing from the back row, and she goes out of bounds over the back line. (18-13). Sydney Hernandez back to serve for the orange and brown. She's rocking the browns while her teammates rock the orange. She puts this one over. Clyden tries to dig it out, unable to. And Buffalo can't get it over in three, and that's another service ace for Sydney Hernandez. 2 games in a row for her with 3+ service aces. And she's got 7 total matches on the year with 3 aces or more. Falcons lead 19-13, trying to reach that 20-point marker, trying to win this match in a sweep and trying to make the MAC tournament. We're going to keep it here as this is a big moment after Scott Smith called timeout for his Bulls, trying to get them reset as they go out there and try to make a comeback down by 6. So far, Falcons been in total control of this match. They got 35 kills as opposed to the Buffalo 23. Only 16 attack errors while the Bulls have 20. 93 total attacks to the Bulls 92. A .204 hitting percentage in comparison to the Buffalo .033 as a team. That is not the mark you want to be at. Falcons also lead in assists in service aces with 8 while the Bulls have 3. They also lead in service errors, however. The 2 teams are tied in solo blocks. Falcons have more total blocks, though, 6-5. The Bulls also have 8 reception errors to the Falcons' 3. Falcons, now it just updated, Falcons have 9 service aces as a team. Sydney Hernandez just got that one there. She puts this one over now. Gladhill digs it out. Now tried to go on the slide attack. Mitchell to Romano. She went into the antenna. The officials called it a point for Buffalo. Not sure what they saw there, but 19-14 is the score. Buffalo takes that point. BG will look to get 20 points another way. Forlan puts over the serve. Otten now sets Andrews. Andrews with a rip and a kill to put the Falcons at 20. The Falcon bench is getting loud as they realize they're in a real position here to win this match in a sweep. Andrews puts this one over, nearly gets herself another service ace. That would have been her 4th. Almost still gets it, but Buffalo scrambles and gets it over in 3. Otten goes to Bojet. Bojet on the attack. That's dug out nicely by Forlan. Good positioning by her. Matthews now on the attack is blocked by Amanda Otten. A solo blocked by Amanda Otten. The 6'3" BG setter getting active at the net. 21-14. BG needs 4 points, to put this one away. As Mitchell now will set things up for Matthews. Matthews will roll it in. Anders left it, and it dropped in front of Hernandez. So 21-15 the score. BG firmly in the driver's seat in this match and in this set. Belle Lowby checks in for Jessica Andrews. Now serving is Adams for UB. Falcons gonna give the Bulls a free ball. Adams takes it. Now Shaw on the slide attack. That's kept up by Lowby. Is it gonna go out? No, it will not. Bulls get it back. Matthews now will attack. And it's touched by Anders, but only with basically her thumb. And so it careens out of bounds with velocity. That was a nice swing by Matthews to get herself another kill. 21-16 the score. Another one put over by Adams. Now when the attack is Bozic, she goes off the block. That's kept up by Matthews. Now Mitchell tries to swing, and she gets the kill there. It went off the block, but it went too far long out of bounds to the opposite side of the court. Coach Del Piombo calls her first timeout of the match as the Buffalo Bulls go on a little bit of a run here, make things 21-17. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the conclusion of this set and quite possibly this match here on Falcon Radio.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Check out more Falcon athletic coverage online at bgfalconmedia.com.
And welcome back to Alumni Arena, where the Falcons are up 21-17 this third set, up 2-0 in the match against the University at Buffalo. Looking to carve themselves out a spot in this year's MAC tournament in this last regular season game of the 2025 season. The Falcons need to win here today, and they also need either a loss from Akron or a win from both Akron and Miami. Akron's up 15-11 in the third set against Toledo after going down 2-0 in the match. So looking to possibly reverse sweep there to keep their MAC tournament hopes alive. As we're back here in Alumni Arena, Bozic ripped that one off the block. Falcons got the recycle, put it back over. UB now with a couple of touches, and then Matthews went behind her head on what was basically a dump. Falcons unable to get to the spot and dig it out. So 21-18 now. The Falcons lead by 3. Otten now tries to swing on that second touch. Not going to work out here. Hernandez now will roll it over for the Bulls. Matthews now with a swing and a home run. No touch by the Falcons. That one went about 20 feet long. Nearly hit the bleachers before it hit the ground. 22-18. She swings with some power, but it can get out of control pretty quickly. Last game, although she had 22 kills, she also had 16 attacking errors. Bozic now puts one over for the Falcons. Now Shaw will go on the slide attack. Falcons keep it alive. Kendall Williams goes up and puts it down. What a swing by Kendall Williams, getting up for that one. Well-timed, blocker wasn't there. Jumped with Otten and not with Williams. Afraid of her dump, and so 23-18 now. Falcons 2 points to keep their MAC tournament hopes alive. Forlin now digs this one out. Mitchell tries to go over in 2. Falcons take it out. Hobson goes off the block and puts it down. The Falcons are at match point, looking to sweep the Bulls. Bozic will go back to the service line for one last time tonight. The Falcons about to get a sweep. Barring a crazy comeback, and yes, they will get the sweep. Anastasia Bozic will drop in the service ace. The Bulls weren't ready for it. It fell limp right as it crossed over the net, just beyond the 10-foot line. The Falcons win the last set 25-18 and win the match 3-0. They secure this win, secure the sweep of the Buffalo Bulls in their last regular season series of the 2025 season, and they will hope to make the MAC tournament with either an Akron loss or both an Akron and Miami win. Miami, though, down in the third set, 21-18. Tied 1-1 in their match against Eastern Michigan. And against the Rockets, Akron is up 17-12, but are down in the match 2-0. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're going to be right back with an interview with assistant coach Chelsea Carter of the Bowling Green Falcons. So don't turn those radio dials just yet. I'm Andrew Smith here on Falcon Radio. The Falcons just got a sweep to keep their season alive. Don't go anywhere.
Get hurt in the game? We tough it out. Feel exhausted? We push on. Feeling down? We pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. But there are times when bootstraps aren't enough. When stress gets to us and we need to talk to someone about what we're really going through. So we're going to reach out because sometimes mental health is not a one-person job. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Bowling Green Volleyball wraps up their regular season on Saturday, November 15th on the road against Buffalo. Make sure to join Falcon Media Sports Network's Volleyball Beat, Andrew Smith, on the call of the match beginning at 3:45 p.m. for pregame and at 4 p.m. for the first serve on WBGU 88.1 FM. Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Ben Korak, Andrew Smith, and the Falcon Media Sports Network crew covering the Falcon volleyball team.
Point one.
And we're back here in Alumni Arena. I'm here with assistant coach Chelsea Carter. Coach, a big win here tonight, a sweep against the Bulls to keep your MAC tournament hopes alive. What are you feeling right now after a big win and a series sweep?
Ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited for the team. They earned that one. They have really, these last 2 weeks, we've come together. We talk about unity a lot, and we talk about learning, and we've taken a lot of lessons and applied them and came together really, really well. Little nervous. We need some other things to happen. So we're hoping those things are happening right now.
Need an Akron loss. The Zips are currently down 2-0 in their match against the Toledo Rockets, but are up in the third set 18-14. Coach, the team hit very effectively during this series. What could you say on just like what was the mindset on the hitting? Where were you guys targeting? Who were you targeting to get those kills?
Well, I think, to be really honest, I think we always try and go at the setter anytime she's back row, but I think we passed a lot better today. We passed a 2.1, able for Amanda to take some really nice shots. Yesterday, we were a little bit more out of system, and our pins had a little bit more junk. We call it trash can. So there was a few more things that they had to take care of from a pin perspective, making sure they make really smart shots that went down and worked. Today we were super effective because we passed well, which was nice. And then everyone got a little bit of a piece of the pie. But I think a part of our offense that went really, really well today was actually our serve. We served really well. We were able to get free balls back. We were able to get some off-speed back. We were able to get easier balls back than when they're in system consistently because they have a lot of arms on Buffalo's team. They got a lot of talent on their team. Their setter's super active. Like, there's a lot of things going on, and it's hard to consistently be able to defend that all the time. So from the service line, we did a really, really good job. We hit our zones. We put some pace on the ball. And then blocking, we had 6 blocks. That made our offense really easy when – they're struggling to attack. We get some easier balls as well. So.
And struggled to attack they did. They hit .059 as a team on the match. Coach, you spoke on the serving. Serving was great. Not only today but also yesterday you had 10 service aces in both of those matches. You were obviously said targeting the setter.
Mhm.
Was there something else that went into the serving, or was there really like a particular mindset you had behind the line to be more aggressive?
Not necessarily. Actually, yesterday, so Avery Anders and Sydney Hernandez, they serve back-to-back, and they're both nuggets. So a lot of times what they do is they serve one really good one, and then the next one they try and level up. So yesterday our plan as a nugget group was like, you have to serve 3.
Yep.
You serve 3, then you can level up. I don't care. You can hit it as hard as you want after that, but you got to get 3. And so I think they got a little greedy. That once they got 3, they're like, I want to see if I can get 4. So then they were like, all right, I'm not going to bang this to the bleachers. I'm going to hit my spot again. I'm going to do the exact same serve one more time. And then it kind of like started a snowball effect of like, okay, can I? Like then they started competing with each other. It's like, Sid got 3, can I get 4?
Yeah.
So then Sid's up next. She's like, I'm going to try and get 5. So then it just kind of made like a little competition. And then like something we've been doing as a staff and like as a team is we've really broken down the game into mini games. And they seem to love that. So we're going to continue to do that.
Yeah. Sydney Hernandez, she was a great server last year. Obviously this season she leads the team in service aces in the absence of Lauren Hovey. But Avery Anders was somebody that really not necessarily struggled, but wasn't the best server, and she also struggled with service errors. What do you think she's done to improve from behind the service line?
I think a little bit of it is in between the ears, like believing that you're a good server. And then the other part is like she's in the gym all the time. Sydney's in the gym all the time serving. So is Avery Anders. So like it's not like they're not putting in the time. They're consistently doing what they need to do to get better at their game. So, yeah.
All right, Coach. Barring some other matches that need to go,
which I hate. We should have taken care of our stuff. I hate relying on other people, and this is something. This is a lesson we're gonna learn. And if/when we make it to the tournament, we're gonna work our buns off to do everything in our power to be the best BG can be.
Coach, Bowling Green gonna be at home for the tournament if they do make it in. What is that going to be like? Do you think having that home court advantage against these other teams in the tournament?
Well, I mean, BG fans are the best fans in the MAC, so it's going to be our 7th player. So we couldn't be more excited and grateful for that opportunity. Again, if/when it happens. However, we got to also get back in the gym on Monday and get better at some things.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Andrew. Hi, Ziggy.
That was Coach Chelsea Carter. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the broadcast today here on Falcon Radio. I'd like to give a few shout-outs before I'm off the air. I've been Andrew Smith. I'm not joined by anybody as my color commentator today, but I do want to thank Holden Ruck, who has been in the studio for me this whole time, pressing all the buttons, making me sound good, making sure I know when I'm on air so that I don't say something I shouldn't. And thank you so much to Lucas Kleinmeyer and Tyler Kavelitz, who have given me so many opportunities with BG Falcon Media and with the Falcon Media Sports Network. Getting to travel with the team couldn't happen without them. And finally, one huge shout out to Carl Smith and BG Volleyball, who allow me to travel with them and to cover the team so closely. It's been great getting to know the team and the coaching staff, as well as traveling with them for the first time this season. Didn't get to do it at all last year. And it's been a great regular season. We'll hope to be in the postseason, in the tournament, in Bowling Green. But for now, that is all for tonight. Good night, and I Ziggy.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.